Well, good morning and happy Wednesday. It's hump day. What are you doing today? What's on tap for you? Let us know. I know a lot of you might want to stay in the air conditioning again because, yes, that hot weather is back for us. So we'll give you the forecast here in just a second. We've got some news you can use. We'll get to a little bit later this morning. We have Angie Hess back on with us for an update on Wellness Wednesday. And this time we're going to talk about swim spas, working out, and especially for those that are trying to lose weight. If you're overweight and you're struggling, doctors always say water, get in the water. It's really good for you. We're going to talk about the swim spa aspect. We're going to get into our workout Wednesday, and I've got a great workout for you when you're coming back from injuries. That one's brought to you by our friends over at Crunch Fitness. And then let's just check in. We haven't had a chance to do just me and you together in a little while. So let us know what's hot on your mind and your families, what's on tap for you for the rest of the summer. Yep, just a couple of weeks left before the kiddos go back to school. A lot of people are either dreading it or excited about it. So weigh in for me. Are you excited or are you dreading the fact that either you're going back to school or that your kids are? I think some mom and dads are like, yay. That's what I've been hearing. So we'll get into all of that for you in just a bit. I do want to give you the forecast real quick. Again, if you're in our immediate St. Louis area or Southern Illinois, again, in the surrounding portions, 90 degrees expected today, 72 for the low tonight. Tomorrow, we do have a slight chance, very slight chance of rain. 92, though, look at, we're getting hot, we're getting humid again. 93, 93, 93 for the entire weekend. And if you're going to anything outside, woo, it's going to be hot. So make sure you're hydrating yourself. Down into the mid 70s. We're talking about the Cardinals coming back in town. We've got St. Louis City SC. I know Le Cajafo opens up at the Muni. We're going to that late Saturday night. So it's going to be a hot one at the Muni. Anything you're doing outside, again, make sure you are hydrating. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that low in the 90s just continues as we go into the next week. All right. I think it's time to walk the dogs. The dogs are barking. I was just telling my guests that there's at least one, there's probably more. There's a deer laying down in the backyard, and I knew as soon as they saw the deer, they were going to be like, that barking like crazy, like, get out of our yard. So good morning to you as you are signing on. If you are new to the show, I'm your host. The show is The Real Monica Adams. Why is it called that? Because we like to get you real, authentic. Again, let's take off the mask, take off the filters, and just be a little bit more real in life. So we've got our Wellness and Workout Wednesday on tap. And speaking of the workout aspect, let me bring my guest on. Angie Hess. She is the owner of Spas and More. First of all, Angie, good morning.
Good morning, Monica.
How you doing this morning?
Oh, raring to get at it like usual.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We're talking about it being hot. So what do you do to get a reprieve from the heat?
Well, I mean, sitting in the air conditioning, honestly.
Yeah, that, get in the pool, whatever you have to do, because again, it's going to get hot again. This is what's funny. So you think about when someone thinks about getting a hot tub, right?
hmm
And it's I always thought more so as we start to get colder into the fall, how beautiful it is to sit outside when the snow starts to fall in the winter. I don't think I've ever asked you that. What is the busiest time for people to be thinking of getting a spa?
I mean, honestly, the busiest time we have is summertime, spring
Isn't
into
that funny?
summer, and a lot of times it's because they're looking for it to have it for the fall. They're not looking to purchase it in the fall, so they're getting everything ready. And then when you're looking at the swim spa aspect of it, you have people who are looking to use it as, a pool for just a little while in their backyards, and then they'll be able to heat it up in the winter and use it all year round.
So talk a little bit more about that. Spas and More, and we'll give you their location. They teamed up with the wonderful Michael Phelps, again, GOAT, the greatest of all time, and he knows all about what swim spas can do. If you have never been, Spas and More, they are located in the Sunset Hills area. You can find them online at Spas and More STL on their website, spasandmorestl.com. We welcomed Angie on board with us just a few weeks ago. So please, all of you that are signing on, we always want to thank our sponsors. So remember to support those that support us. Angie and I are going to do these Wellness Wednesdays and talking about the aspect of how we can get you feeling the best version of yourself. And so last week we talked about you having an autoimmune disease. We talked about fibromyalgia and how infrared saunas, contrast therapy, things like that can help out. But today we want to talk about the aspect of working out. I'm all big into the wellness aspect, the working out workout aspect with you having an autoimmune disease and just different things that you may have dealt with in your life. How many times have you had a doctor say, get in the pool, get in water therapy?
That is the biggest thing that my rheumatologist and my weight loss doctor has always told me. Simply because the amount of pressure that's on your joints when you're trying to walk on a street, on the treadmill, trying to do anything like that, you're putting your full body weight on every one of your joints. But when you're getting into the water, you're becoming, you're not doing that. You're only getting about 2 pounds of pressure on your joints when you're doing water walking, swimming, water aerobics, anything like that. So it's really much easier on the body and it's much easier on the joints, especially for people who have arthritis, autoimmune disorders like lupus, fibromyalgia, anything like that, that just makes it too painful sometimes to actually do the physical activity.
So when you get into the swim spa, what recommendations do you have for someone that is starting a workout program? They're overweight. They're saying, okay, I can't do this in the gym. I can't do that. I can't get out and do, the pounding, walking on the pavement or running. So what would you recommend for them to do? And as far as starting, and then how long?
So, I mean, above all, you're going to always consult your physician before doing anything. But when you're getting into the water, the nice thing about swim spas is that they're adjustable. So you can start out very slow and build yourself up. And the biggest thing is walking against the current, it's the resistance. One thing with our swim spas, too, that it also offers rowing arms and resistance bands. So you're able to do a little bit more than just walking against the water or swimming. But as you're working, usually you want to start very simple, 5 to 10 minutes. Keeping the water temperature around 85 degrees is optimal so that you're not dehydrating yourself. And it sounds kind of funny that, you're in water and you're dehydrating yourself, but when you're rising your body temperature, you're still going to sweat whether you're in water or not. So you can run that risk of dehydration. So keeping that water temperature lower helps it prevent that. But you do need to stay hydrated 5 to 10 minutes to start and then gradually build yourself up to increase the strength of the resistance. And then you can work a little bit longer, a little bit stronger, and just build yourself up.
Absolutely. If you're just tuning in, we're starting off the show. We're going to get into a workout for those of you that say, okay, I want to go into the gym, but sometimes you've got to do that transition. And so you start with this and then you find, hey, it's really working for me. Now I want to add a little bit more. Now I want to do this and different types of cross training. So for you yourself, I always love personal testimonials. What have you seen in changes for you since you've incorporated that?
Since I've started things, I've found that my mobility is much better when I'm actually doing the workouts in the swim spa because it does limber up the joints. It has aided in weight loss for me. But also it's just kind of a good way to relax, even though you're exercising. Is something about water that gives you just kind of the way to let the weight just kind of, or let just like the weight of the day just kind of float away a little bit. So.
So, and then for nobody's asked yet, but I would imagine some people would be like, "Oh, I've seen swim spas. They got to go in and ask some more questions about it. What do those, from a cost standpoint, what do those run?"
They can be anywhere from about 25,000 up to about 60,000. We have 3 different levels as far as the swim spas are concerned. Exercisers, basic swimming, advanced swimming, and then the professional level when you're getting into the ones that Michael Phelps helped us develop to aid for, people who are competitive swimmers.
I love it. And again, so when it's time for you to be thinking about that, and maybe you didn't know where to go, now you do. Spas and more, located again in the Sunset Hills area. You're heading down Gravois. You go to 12957 Gravois Road. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. They are closed on Sunday. And Angie, I was just talking about you yesterday at lunch with one of my best friends, and I showed her this, and she was like, what? I said yes. So she and her husband have been wanting to pull the trigger on getting a new hot tub because when they moved into their home, the one that was there in the existing home, unfortunately, I don't know what all happened to it, but they have to replace it. So they're looking around, and I was like, well, you might want to look at this because this is super cool. And she's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So here was her question. So you can see there, Angie just literally with the turn of a key.
The touch of a
Yep, touch of the
button.
button, right? That she
Mhm.
was able to take that up. So her question was, at any point, can you like hit the button and stop it at certain points, or does it have to go all the way up?
No, you can turn the key, stop it at whatever level you want it to be at.
There's your answer, Michelle, because there where their current hot tub is, they've got it setting down, and then it would go up like to where I guess their next level where the deck is. So she was like, "Well, if it goes all the way up, it's going to hit it." And I said, "I think it stops at any point you want it to stop." All
Mm.
right. There's the answer, everybody. So thank you so much, Angie. Again, Angie and I have got a bunch of ideas for different Wellness Wednesdays, but today we wanted to discuss swim spas and an idea for you to use that as working out to help you. Again, help you with your joints, make it easier. And instead of just being sedentary, start in the water. Angie, thank you so much. I hope you have a fantastic week and stay cool.
Thank you so much, Monica. Talk to you soon.
All right, that's Angie Hess, again, the owner of Spas and More. So welcome to all of you as you're just signing on this morning. We are on Facebook and YouTube, X, Instagram, Rumble, LinkedIn. So working out, do you work out? Have you gone away from it a little bit? Do you feel like you need to get back into it? There's an opportunity for you to think, okay, well, maybe I can start with that. You always hear about water therapy and how it's really, really good for you. We're going to get into the workout aspect in just a bit. Let me give you some of the news you can use. And I tell you what, there's not a lot today. This would be one of those days where when I was in the news, I would go, yeah, we don't need to do anything. Let's just sit down and talk and let's have fun. That's what I'm going to say today. I give you some things I think you want to know about, but there's only a few. There's truly only a few because everything else I saw was death, destruction, horrific things that I will not talk to you about. If there's anything in the news that I think, okay, this one kind of goes into that realm, it's more that I want to know what can we do to solve the problem as a community, right? So tag, you're out. All right. How many of you are so frustrated with the people who do not? I'm one of them. And of course, my husband, who's a police officer. We all do our due diligence. We go and we pay our taxes for our temporary tags, getting our licenses. But other people, they don't do it for months. I saw years. I saw somebody was 10 years. I'm like, oh my gosh, give them a ticket. This is ridiculous. Well, now Missouri is doing away with the temporary license tags, citing millions of dollars in losses. It's kind of become a game, hasn't it? What's the oldest temp tag you've seen? I mean, literally, that's what we've been doing. So now Senate Bill 28 recently passed in Missouri calling for changes to several transportation provisions, including temporary license plates or those temp tags, more specifically getting rid of them. So what does it mean? Well, once the law takes effect, anyone buying a car from a dealer will no longer have 30 days to go and pay their sales tax. Instead, you're going to be required to pay for the car and the sales tax at the same time. Boom. No different than buying an item at the store. Amen. Why has it been that way? It doesn't apply to private dealers now. So buying a car from Craigslist, a friend, or any other private party still requires a trip to a Missouri license office. And then instead of that temp tag, you will get a paper copy of your actual license plate as soon as the sales tax is paid. The permanent metal plate with the same number configuration will be mailed to the buyer. So when does this start? It's going to take effect August 28th. Yes, right around the corner. It's going to take longer for the sales tax portion to begin, but this Senate Bill 28 goes into effect August 28th, estimated to be late 26 or early 27 before the system is then completed. In the meantime, the temp tag system will continue as is even after August 28th. So what do y'all think about that? Seriously, I am going to say I'm cheering it. I think it needed to be done for a long, long time now. It's just, why do some people, and I think it's just all in how we're raised, right? I was raised that we pay our taxes, we are good human beings, we give kindness to the world, all these things, you don't get into trouble. All the things that I hear in the world, I always just sit there and scratch my head going, how are these people raised? Who are these people? So what do you all think about that? I like it. I like the fact that, yes, you're buying it and you pay your sales tax. I mean, sure, I'd love that we don't have to pay tax, but if we're going to have to, why do we give this 30-day window? And then all of a sudden everyone's like, I'll push it to 2 months, 3 months. Again, it really truly has been a game to how long can you go? How long can people in their mind think that they can go before they get pulled over? And then they want to give trouble to the police officers because they are giving you a ticket for something that you should have done in the first place. So if you feel like weighing in on that, again, I'll give you some of these topics. Feel free to drop in a comment. The TSA, this is for all of you families, adding a dedicated security line for you. I like that. So TSA working to make it easier. The Department of Homeland Security announced it's called Families on the Fly, an initiative that they say will enhance hospitality for families at the airport. And as part of the initiative, TSA is testing a separate line at security dedicated just for you families. Currently, the Orlando International Airport, and then I looked into another one, the Charlotte Douglas International Airport. They're the only airports participating. However, there are plans for the initiative to expand to other airports very soon. And they've announced some major changes to their procedures this summer as well. So another part of the campaign is a deal on TSA pre-check. And so that's going to be where if two people enroll together, the second is $15 off. The offer valid until October 31st. Children can use TSA PreCheck for free when they're traveling with a parent with TSA PreCheck. I think this is good. Again, you're trying to wrangle the kids all in. I think a dedicated line for them makes sense. Good morning, Julie, Sean, Rose. Good morning. Heading to the zoo today. Oh, with a bunch of kiddos? How many of you are going to the zoo? It's not going to be as oppressively hot as it will this weekend, but have a great time there. It's always a good time. I love to see the animals, and hopefully they're getting good hydration. Okay, this one, let's pray for this baby. This is a rare incident that took place. Newborn fighting for her life after a tick bit her on a family walk, right? We always talk about getting out there with the families, but we also, if you're out in the woods, it doesn't matter though. Just going outside, you have to put on the appropriate insect repellent. This is a Massachusetts newborn fighting for her life in the hospital at Massachusetts General after she contracted a suspected case of this virus. It's a very rare but serious tick-borne disease. Powassan. This girl, Lily Cisco, was flown to Massachusetts General just weeks after she was born, June 30th. She says the 5-week-old had a tick the size of a needle tip on her after her family took her on a short walk. She got a high fever, started experiencing seizures. Preliminary tests show she contracted the virus, again, a rare but serious tick-borne disease that can be fatal. So, what can you do to prevent tick bites? Experts recommend using, as I mentioned, insect repellent, wearing long clothing, checking yourself, your kids, your pets for ticks after being outside in an area where they might be present. And I know a lot of us take it for granted, but you shouldn't. I have a dear friend of mine that contracted, not as rare as that one, but is it alpha guy? Alpha gal? Alpha guy. I think it's alpha guy syndrome. Anyway, you have that, and then suddenly you can't eat it. She says you can't eat anything with a hoof. That's the way she looks at it. And I mean, obviously there's many more. You look at your dogs, you should be bringing them in and checking for ticks all the time. Alpha gal. It is a food allergy caused by a sugar molecule called alpha gal, found in most mammals except for primates, triggered by the bite of the Lone Star tick. So a lot of you may have heard of that one, but this latest one from this little newborn has. I had never heard of that. Let's see, Stephanie, when we came home from Orlando, they had a special line for handicapped people. It was a lot easier to go through security. I love that. Thank you for weighing in on that. Okay, in sports news, how cool is this? Japan's new oldest person, 114 years old, who actually carried the Olympic torch back in 2021. A retired physician has become the oldest living person following the death of another 114-year-old that was also in Japan. At 109, this person became one of the oldest torchbearers in Olympic history during the Tokyo 2021 torch relay. And here's the background, a symbol of Japan's extraordinary longevity. They graduated from medical school before World War II, served at a hospital during the war, later ran her family's clinic as an obstetrician and a gynecologist. She retired at 86, and she says she's not doing anything out of the ordinary to stay healthy. A local TV station there quoted her family saying she keeps a regular routine, goes to bed, wakes up at the same time, eats small portions, but always has 3 proper meals a day. How incredible. Let me ask this question because I know a lot of people say, no, I would not want to be that old. Would you? I think you get to a point as you're approaching 90, 95, 100. And from what I hear from a lot of people, they say, all my friends are gone. My family's gone. Sometimes they've lost their children at that age, right? So would you want to be 114? I mean, obviously very wise, and we have a lot to learn from her. But that's the question for you for the day. Would you want to live to 100? or beyond. All right, in sports, the Cardinals unfortunately losing to the Dodgers 12-6. It's the Cards and the Dodgers continuing today. 3:10 first pitch, and then it's the Cubs and the Cardinals coming to town on Friday. I mentioned it's going to be a hot weekend for that. Day of calendar, here's what's on tap for you. National Social Engineering Day, National Fresh Breath Day. Yeah, you brush your teeth. National Root Beer Float Day, and National Wiggle Your Toes Day. Okay, I'm going to tell you what. That's an art. Some people have the most flexible toes. For me, I was like, I can try to get them going. Well, today's the day. Try to get them wiggling. If you've got little ones, they always have fun with that, don't they? National Wiggle Your Toes Day. Okay, it's 7:20. And good morning to all of you that are signing on. Now's the time for you to check in with everybody. Tell them, hey, it's time for Workout Wednesday. So I like wellness, working out. We have Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. We've missed that, haven't we? It's back. And today we're going to be back at Defiance Ridge Vineyards at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We're actually going to get a chance to visit with Lynn and Trent from Defiance Ridge, and we're going to feature a wine called Rayon d'Or. Chuck is on the Rhine River, Chuck, the owner of Defiance Ridge. So he'll be back with me in a couple of weeks. Good morning, Jeannie from Texas. How you doing? I love the fact that, again, we've got people watching from all over. Yeah, tell your family, friends. We've got people that watch in Florida, in Texas, California, Colorado. Those are the ones I've seen. Again, I always want to let you know, have you let me know, where are you watching from and who introduced us, or did you find us naturally? And again, if you watch later and we didn't get to interact live, I know a lot of you are rushing off to work or running around with the kids before they start back to school in a couple of weeks, taking the show in pieces as you can. You're going to want this one because for those of you that have an injury and you're trying to come back from the injury, I have a workout for you today that I did with my sister-in-law and my brother, and we went, of course, to Crunch Fitness.
When you want to feel good, you work out at Crunch. You don't go here, because here feels bad. But here we help you feel good, feel strong, feel rejuvenated.
Join Crunch Fitness today.
And we are going to be giving away, yes, a 1-year membership to Crunch Fitness. All you have to do is tell me that you want to be in the drawing. So drop in a comment. If you've already told us you wanted to, great. We've got you on the list, but literally it's that easy. Say, yes, I want to be in the drawing, and I will put you in the list of people that are waiting. We'll give away the Crunch Fitness 1-year membership next week. So get ready for that. We've already had Michael T. Gray, Cinder Smith winning theirs. There's literally nothing you have to do except for saying, I'm in, right? I'm all in. I'm ready to change my life. So, we were talking about getting in water therapy aspect. And this is just one of my favorite pools to look at. I looked at ours and thought, okay, I think I need some more chemicals. It really is a science. And so take your water samples up to our friends at Just Pools. They're located at the 3987 West Outer Road, South in Arnold. And not only are we welcoming them back, but we're telling them thank you again for being a part of us for the last couple of years. A lot of people didn't know this, but they are an authorized Pentair warranty service repair station. And one of my clients the other day, Angie, said, oh my gosh, thank you so much for telling me that, because I drove way out of my way to get my Pentair. I think she had some kind of pool cleaner. She took it somewhere else, and this was literally right down the street from her. She had no idea that they did that. Yeah, so many things. They can build your pool, keep your pool super clean. And if you look in the background, you see these really cool blue, and obviously they have different colors, but they are those Adirondack chairs, but they're so unbelievably sturdy. They are made out of recycled milk bottles. I think that's the coolest thing, as we do everything we can for our planet, and then we get a chance to enjoy the beautiful backyard oasis. So while this is theirs, it could be yours. Thinking about pulling the trigger on a pool? Remember, go in, talk to our friends at Just Pools. They also have some hot tubs there as well. Check them out. Just Pools, located on the West Outer Road in Arnold. Give them a call today at 636-464-7110. All right, welcome back, everybody. So it's time for us to talk about injuries and working beyond the injury, not staying sedentary, but also being smart. And what do I mean by that? Don't overdo it. So ego can take over sometimes, right? You're thinking, I've been in the gym. I can do this weight. Well, you can't if you have an injury. So folks, how many of you have been there? You are coming back from a surgery, or you just injured yourself and you think, okay, I'm getting right back into it. In fact, I know some people, I have dear friends and family that have put off surgeries because whether it's an inconvenience, I mean, I know we're always busy. We're always running to this thing and that thing. When is it ever a good time to have surgery and to have that downtime and go through physical therapy? But if you keep putting it off, are you doing more damage to yourself? Remember, when I give you these ideas of workouts, always check with your physician, your physical therapy, whoever is taking care of your medical, because they're the ones that know you. I am a personal trainer, have been since 1999. I've been in the wellness field. I've worked with seniors at Friendship Village. I've worked with children as young as 10 years old. I still personal train on a regular basis. I have private training clients. I have semi-private clients. We do some classes as well from time to time. I do life coaching with you. There's a lot of things that we can do with my team. So yes, if you're needing the assistance, please don't go at it alone. Otherwise, if you're looking for a great gym to join, I highly recommend Crunch. They just came into town within the last several months. Their very first one opened in Florissant, Missouri. Their second one opened in the Baldwin area, right there at 141 in Manchester. And then St. Peter's just opened a few weeks ago, and they have more to come. I think I'm hearing around Kings Highway in the city. I think I'm hearing Fenton might be coming soon. I think there's going to be like 12 here in the next couple of years. So one will be coming your way. You want to get out of the house. You want to have partner training. You want to hire a good personal trainer from Crunch Fitness. Do so. And then once you do, start to work yourself back. Especially if you're working back from an injury, I highly recommend at that point, you get somebody that knows what they're doing. Hire a good trainer. And again, if I can help you out, great. I am not a personal trainer at Crunch. I want to say that right away, because yes, I train there. And yes, there's some friends of mine and family members that work out there with me, but you can't hire me to train you at Crunch. Okay. I want to say that first and foremost. If you see me up there, please do me a favor and say hi. Tell me how much you absolutely love it. And then let's get you to the best version of yourself, and let's get you past an injury. All right, partner training, someone keeping you accountable. I love this woman. She's been in my life since, oh my gosh, what? I was 11 years old. Yes, this is my sister-in-law, Tina, in my life since I was 11. So we are dear, dear friends. Now, she is coming back from a shoulder injury. Yes, you see her right there holding up that 20-pound weight. As she told me, that's her good side. So if I asked her to hold it on her left shoulder side, we'd have to drop the weight down. I'm going to stress that. That is the biggest thing I want you to understand. Don't let the ego take over. Allow yourself to say, all right, I can't lift the weights that I did yet. There's your big word, yet. I've got to go through my physical therapy. I've got to listen to my doctor. I've got to listen to a good trainer. I will be back though. You will, but you won't if you let the ego take over and you try to get back sooner and try to rush through it. So it was so nice to be able to work out with my big brother there on the left side. That's Brian, and that's my sister-in-law, Tina. So I was able to work with Tina. We did our training. And here's the thing. If you want to go into a gym and the two of you are doing different things, so what? Just set up camp, right by each other, and then train. So she was training chest and I was training back. I had just come off of training chest with some of my clients. So we decided to set up camp right next to each other. And she is just getting back into it. So here's Tina.
Tina, you're back at it. So when people have an injury or surgery, they can't sit on the sidelines too long. They got to do something. But I know it's hard for you because you were like, holy cow, I got to only do 8 pounds. But it's not only you're starting back, right?
It's not. I'm starting. I'm doing something, which feels amazing. Because doing nothing felt awful, and I was starting to get a little depressed, and I don't want that.
Well, right, it messes with mental health.
So I need this.
Right, physical.
I need
right,
it.
she's working chest. I don't want to take too much of your time, so get back at it, girl.
I just need it for me.
You know what? That's a big part of what I say, don't I? I always tell you, make sure you put yourself first. You might think it sounds egotistical. You might think it sounds selfish. It does not. How does mama take care of the kids and take care of her spouse, take care of her aging parents? How do you take care of anybody else around you if you haven't focused on you? So I do a lot of that in my life coaching. I do a lot of that in my motivational speaking, which we're going to show you, by the way, in just a second, if you haven't seen that on social media yet. It's very important. You've got to take care of yourself. Good morning, Marietta. All of you that are getting ready to sign on right now, I hope you're having a great one. Jeannie said, I'm doing well. I've followed you since you covered our beautiful Fredericksburg, Texas. I know Jeannie's been a diehard. And by the way, I don't know if you know that, but that's what we can do. We do a travel takeover show. And we did the first one with Fredericksburg, Texas, 11 shows in 3 days. My team worked their butts off. I was so proud of all the work that we did. And now we're behind the scenes thinking, well, where do we go next? I'm thinking an area of Tennessee that I absolutely love, of a resort that's opening up next summer, which I think would be cool for a retreat. One of my team members said, how about Chicago? You tell me, where would you like us to showcase what area, and we'll do a takeover show just like we did in Texas, and we'll have those people watching from there. So as you're tuning in right now, we're doing a workout Wednesday, and again, I'm featuring my sister-in-law today, coming back from a shoulder injury. In fact, it's a couple times she's had to have surgery. My husband's had surgery on his knee 3 times, and I know it gets frustrating, and each time you feel like my body's breaking down, it's getting worse. Don't keep going at a workout with tears and with other injuries. All you're doing is damaging it more and more, building up scar tissue, and then trying to get past that. And you're like, right now he's working out through the pain. My husband is, because he's going to have shoulder surgery. He's putting it off. He says until the beginning of the year. I hope he's okay, but you have to let go of that ego. And that's what I keep trying to tell him of, you're not going to be able to lift as heavy as you used to. It's plain and simple. You've got an injury that's bothering you. So Tina talks about the exact same thing. But here she's doing best, but she said you could lift heavier.
I could do even more, but I don't want to push it.
Right.
I could do even more, but I don't want to push it.
Right, got to be smart. Coming back from an injury.
My mental state has to overrule.
So let's tell people this. Before your injury, what weights would you have been lifting?
35.
35s. And can we tell people how young you are? 59. So age.
All right, you heard me again giving her props. Good job, good form. Form is everything, folks. Don't rush through your workouts. Take the time, especially when we're talking about working through and past an injury. So if you're just tuning in, again, good morning, welcome aboard. Working through an injury. How many of you have been there? I mean, I would think we'd almost have 100% of you raising your hands. I don't care whether it's lifting weights, it's coming back from a sport, it's even walking and hobbling through having a hip injury, a knee injury, whatever it is, check with your doctor again and get on a routine. We started off the show on the wellness side, giving you an idea of some things you can do maybe in water therapy. So Angie, thanks for joining us again from Spas and More, talking about swim spas for people who are overweight. I know that you can't get in and all of a sudden think that you're going to tackle workouts like this. I have people that are in wheelchairs. I have a guy who had, he suffered through fibromyalgia. He had multiple sclerosis, and most people gave up on him. I didn't. This was in the very beginning of my career. I said, no, let's get out of that chair, but I'm here for you. I put a belt on him. I held him up, and then I had him working his upper body. Then I held onto the belt even tighter, and we'd move through squat work. So yes, don't ever give up on yourself. And if other people in life don't believe in you, as long as you believe in yourself and you've got someone that's there to encourage you and to, cheer you on, let that be the person that takes you to that version of yourself that you can be at. And I'm so frustrated with the fact that so many people in life feel like, nope, I can't do it. Everyone's told me that this is not something for me. I can't do a workout. Bull. There's something in life that can be done for you. Trust me on that. So yeah, Tina just doing the 20 pounds in her mind. It was messing with her because she was just doing 35 and now she's at 20. But guess what? Check in with her, another 3-6 months from now. I bet you she gets back to that. And if not, who cares? At this point, what are your goals? What are you shooting for? I'm just so proud of her.
What do you think of Crunch, by the way?
Oh, I love this place. It's
Gorgeous,
beautiful.
isn't it?
Clean. It has everything. It's fantastic. can't wait to do the classes. Haven't done that yet, but that's next.
Yes, that's next. She and I talked about the classes at Crunch. So if you are tuning in, Crunch Fitness brings us our Workout Wednesday, our Fitness Friday. They have joined us as one of our sponsors in the last couple of months. Love the gym. And if you haven't been yet, which I know a lot of you have, I love the fact that so many of you have reached out to me and told me that you have joined and that you have fallen in love. I haven't had a chance to do any of the classes yet. Have you? If so, let me know. I have somebody the other day reached out and said they did the bar classes at St. Peter's. I'm looking forward to the hot stuff room. They do Pilates, bar. They do HIIT training inside of a hot room. If you've ever worked out in a hot like yoga room, let me know. I have not. And for me, it used to always think like, I don't want to be like not being able to breathe, but I hear for a lot of people, it's a great thing. Yoga obviously is great for mental state, but I don't know. Tell me more about the hot rooms and what am I going to experience? What should I expect from it? So here was the funny thing, getting back into it. We were talking about how Tina's doing the chest work and the tricep work, and she did some shoulder work also, dropping the weight down. This was funny.
All right, folks, so this is the one that would hurt her a little bit coming back from her surgery. But see, she's going to be smart. Right, so don't go heavy in your mind. Try to go back to where you were and then watch your form, because if she went out too far with heavy weights, that weight would get away from her. Trust me, been there, done that in my 20s, working out with my mentor actually, and it was way too heavy and it just tore my shoulder.
Pretty heavy.
Yeah. So squeezing at the top of that contraction. Right there, she's on an incline. Incline, a lot of times for women, is harder than that flat.
Oh, yeah.
But as you see behind her, she's hustling for the muscle.
So if you're just tuning in, we're talking about working beyond an injury. If you have any questions for me, by the way, feel free to drop a comment in now, or you can always reach out to me. In fact, I'll give you my email address. This is for many reasons. Maybe you think I have a guest idea. I have a topic idea. You're a business. You'd like to be a sponsor of the show, like our many businesses. And again, we want to thank Spas and More, who was on with us earlier. Great Works LLC. He sponsors our What the Weather segment. Crunch Fitness, as you're seeing right now, Just Pools, Slyman Brothers Appliances. We will be taping a show there today, a baking segment, by the way, with my interns. This will be fun. One of my interns, Hayden, says he makes a killer banana bread. So we're going to be taping from the West County location in just a few hours. You'll see that on Friday. We're going to actually give you 2 doses of a show, fitness and Friendship Friday with Real Estate Talk, and our Foodie Friday. Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa will be back at tomorrow. It feels like we've been away from these for a little while, haven't we? So Positive Talk Time comes back tomorrow with Jessica Cook. Defiance Ridge, I'll be Wet Your Whistle at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And then Dot Fleshman again from Coldwell Banker Gundaker. She joins us on Friday. So we've got a lot on tap for you. Going through right now a Workout Wednesday, coming back from an injury. I am empathetic with what Tina is coming back from. I had surgery, ironic, because she said it was her left side, on my left shoulder. It was in 1996, folks. Dr. Richard Lehman, one of the most incredible orthopedic surgeons that we have here in St. Louis, Missouri, did my surgery, and I've never had an issue. In fact, he did such an amazing job. Went through the physical therapy. You have to do that. Listen to your physical therapist. Do everything that they're telling you to do at home. That's how you come back. It's those steps. You can't have the injury, have the surgery, and think you can go back. Again, it humbles you, as you heard Tina say. It messed with her head because she was like, I was up to 35-pound dumbbells, which is incredible, right? She had to back off to 20. If she said, I'm only doing 20, there's probably a lot of you watching right now thinking, I would love to do 20 pounds. You do you, right? Stay in your lane and just keep it going. Jeannie said, I do water aerobics faithfully. I've taught in the past, water is the best therapy with injuries. Amen. After my total knee replacement, the water accelerated my healing process. Jeannie, thank you so much for adding that into the comments. And this is what I love about being live with you. We've got people from all over that can say, hey, listen, It does work, and you will get back to where you were or even better. Shannon says butt, belly, thigh class is really good. Oh, Shannon, so you work out at Crunch? I love that. Julie, I did hot yoga once. I thought it was gross. The guy next to me was flicking sweat on me. Oh, that's disgusting. Julie, you need to go to Crunch. I don't think they're going to be flicking sweat at Crunch. You went to the wrong place. That's disgusting. Anne, happy Wednesday. Way to go, Tina. Have a great day. Yes, Tina doing a great job. I introduced, again, my brother and sister-in-law, who I trained with just the other day. And we're going to tease my brother here in just a second. But you're seeing Tina come back from her shoulder surgery. Again, better than ever. And she's getting back to where she wants to be. So chest work and tricep work. Thought this was kind of a funny exchange.
So Tina's doing chest and triceps. Tina, tell them why you're doing triceps with your chest.
Why I'm doing triceps? They're pulsing muscles of
Look, this is the real Monica Adams, and she just got real with us.
chest and tries, back and buys.
Yeah, it's all old school thinking, right? Some people change that mentality. They want to work the small muscle that's not working. But she and I come from old school thinking, right? So shoulders, tricep are the helper muscles for the chest. That's why you do it, right? Which is your bad one?
My left.
Oh, the one she was just doing, right?
Yeah, the one that was really hard. This is nothing.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's all good.
Yes, that's a good statement right there, Tina. It's all good, right? Because you will be back and you'll be stronger than ever. You have to do it in the right phases. Again, injury, check it out. Don't keep working through an injury and not, especially if it's lasting. I always tell my clients, I'm like, has it been there for weeks? Has it been there for months? You might want to get it checked. Some people have an aversion to going in to seeing a doctor. Why? They're going to tell you either, yes, there's something you need to do about it, or no. They'll give you good news. Maybe you do only have to do physical therapy. You don't have to get cut on. Get a second opinion. I had 3 opinions on a doctor wanting to do surgery on my knee years ago. And I do mean years ago. Did I ever have to have surgery? No. I asked 2 doctors. They both were cut happy. Asked the 3rd doctor. He was the one I wanted to go after. And that's, by the way, how I got into personal training, because he said, Monica, here's my idea for you. Build up that quadricep a little bit more, help stabilize the patella, and you will be able to avoid surgery. And here we are all these years later, because this is literally back in my teens or maybe my early 20s. Never had to have it. So do get second opinions or even a third opinion like I did before you get cut on. Stephanie said, yes, water aerobics is awesome 3 times a week for me. I love it. Rose, I used to go to a trainer, was getting in the best shape of my life. Then my femur came loose after a hip surgery. And Monica, I never went back to the gym. Oh, my body aches from RA, but I have to motivate myself to get back to some exercise. I have to get to a mindset. I have just recently lost 15 pounds. Way to go. But only because of calorie deficit. So look, I am talking with a lot of my clients, telling them you got to put everything together. I can train you, but it's those hours when you're away from me that really tell your story. If you're working out with a trainer or you're working out by yourself, and let's say you spend an hour and a half in the gym or at your house, again, if you're not going to a gym, wherever, or you're outside, you're doing some type of movement. But what are you doing to help aid in your workout routine? Are you completely wiping away all of your goals by eating horrible? So you've got to put nutrition into play. You've got to put your workout into play. You have to take care of your mind. You have to take care of your spirit, right? We talk about putting it all together, the triangle of life: physical, mental, spiritual, soulful, emotional. They all go together there. You've got to put them all together. One cannot be faltering, because if so, you're completely out of whack. So work on your mind, work on your spirit, work on your body, move that body. So again, good morning to you. In the last 15 minutes of our show, and I've got a life coaching client coming up, by the way, at 8:30 this morning. So she's going to be working on her mental side. She also said, I got to lose weight. I got to move this body. Yes, you do. I mentioned that my brother was there with us. Got to tease your bigger brother, don't you?
Look at this. It's a family affair today at Crunch Fitness. Brother and sister working out. You guys get it.
Brian, you can do more than that.
Yes,
I
he
only
can.
do 5 pounds less than you.
He fell off a waterfall.
You told me not to do the 35s because you want me to slow down.
See? That's how it is when you work out with your siblings.
He absolutely can lift a lot more than me. But when he grabbed those 30s, I was like, I think I can do a few repetitions with 25. So I grabbed the 25s just to tease him. Yeah. So here's another thing. She's coming back from having surgery on the shoulder. He injured himself. They were just on vacation and around a waterfall and fell, injured his elbow. So he's being smart. Again, the ego could take over and he could have lifted a lot heavier. And then what? Injured it more, out of the game more, right? The game of life, the actual game you're playing. Be smart. That is the overarching message of today. Be smart. Monica, what do you think of doing a Silver Sneakers class online? Okay, Stephanie, I love Silver Sneakers. There were a lot of seniors that I trained that were in the Silver Sneakers program, and I think it's fascinating. But then Dr. Charles Willie, who is with Innovare Healthcare, he was on my show. Do you remember Dr. Willie? He was on my show about a year or so ago. He had a very similar program that was his own with Innovare, and that's where it all started from. He had me train his seniors at Friendship Village. If someone cannot get to an actual facility where they're offering you coming in because you have Silver Sneakers, if they offer something online, I would just do your due diligence and look into who is doing the training. If you can look into their background, try it out. Why would you not? It's a wonderful program for you, whether it's in person or online. Stephanie, I think the world of that particular program. I've not seen it online, but I'm sure that Silver Sneakers wouldn't have bad trainers because, again, they're representing their program. And if they did, that would make them look bad. So, Stephanie, why don't you do me a favor? Try it out. Check with your doctor, right? They probably would tell you this is a great idea. Try out an online program, do the one that works for you, and then check back in with us and let us know how it works for you. I know you're doing water aerobics. That would be really cool. Rose, do not want to live to 100 or longer unless I can walk with ease to the coffee pot. Yeah, I was asking earlier, feel free to drop in a comment. Would you want to live to 100 or beyond? Simple question to say yes or no. I did it over COVID. Okay, very good. Yes, then get back to it, because if that keeps your body moving, well, I think that would be fantastic. I don't want you to think I didn't train. So here's what I did. And so in our final part of this Workout Wednesday, I did a giant set. And what I'm going to do is just show you a few of the repetitions. If you want to know the actual program, it was 3 to 4 sets of a giant set. Does this make sense to you? So how about 3 to 4 rotations is how I'll tell you of it, of a giant set. What's a giant set? Putting multiple exercises together without any resting. So I chose 5 exercises, went from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then rested. My heart rate was absolutely up. So I got the added benefit of calorie burn, endurance training while I did my resistance training. So here's your giant set. All right, I'm going to show you a giant set. So I'm going to go from 1 through 5 exercises without resting. You want to get a big calorie burn in, do that fast, then a break after your 5 exercises. So let's get to it. Starting with my lawnmower rows. So if I'm doing right side, left leg is on the bench. Or if you want some good core work, you don't go onto a bench. You can put your hand on your leg, or I like to do it like this. See how my ankles moving back and forth, trying to find stability in my knee, in my core.
Putting pressure on your heel?
As I go through it. Yes,
the front foot? Sorry,
so
I just cut your head off.
Quickly to show you. That would be my first. Second, I'm going to incline the bench.
Incline meaning raise it up.
Okay.
Some people don't know. Let's go from a different angle.
Squeeze.
Look at that.
So I would run through, I'm doing medium, not heavy, medium weight. I'm going to go through 4 sets of the giant set, doing about 12 to 15 repetitions. Straight from that, I'm going into my low back. Okay, you're going to do these with a plate or dumbbell.
Good
Down,
mornings.
flattening my back, pushing through my heel. Shoulder sideways. Flat back, not hunched over. When you hunch over like that, you put a lot of strain on the back. So don't do this, and then try to jump back up here, back up. Again, I would go through multiple repetitions. Then I come over here. Come over here, I'm going to do some Arnold presses.
I can't do those yet.
That's the part we're talking about with her injury.
Yep.
Right? So I'm
Not
gonna
yet.
do about 5 of these for you. Just to show you, but my reps have been 15. And then my last one, and this is the one that I'm struggling with.
See, everybody struggles.
I was doing 15. But just to show you, I'll grab these real quick. You don't want to do this and fly out, which I see a lot of people do in the gym. And this is actually heavier for me. So I'm going to control my core. Up.
You see people leaning forward, way forward also.
Yes.
Look at that face.
This is heavy. But I'm still controlling it.
Yeah.
Hold slowly on the way back down.
Woo.
The key is that you don't want to be doing this, and you want to be able to get it here and slowly back down. That's a giant set, and you can tell I'm out of breath. Burning those calories.
There you go, girl.
And you hear that? There you go, girl, right? Support your friends, your family, your accountability partner. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, and as I used to say when I was on Channel 5, what can I do for you next? If you have a body part, you have a workout style program you would like for me to help you out with, because designing that program is what I hear from a lot of people that they struggle with. So if that is something you want me to do on a future show, just reach out to me, shoot me an email, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Let me take care of you there. Again, I don't care if you're training at a gym. I would love for you to support our wonderful sponsor, Crunch Fitness. But if you can't go to a gym or you haven't joined yet and you haven't won yet, yes, won, because we are giving away a membership for an entire year every month through the end of the year, and loving our partnership, by the way, with Crunch. Everybody that I've introduced to Crunch has absolutely fallen in love. How can you not? And it's so true. You saw what it said there. They do have something for everyone. So if you're a person who likes to work out on your own, which I do, if you like to go to classes, which I now want to, you want 45,000 square feet of incredible equipment, check out Crunch Fitness. And I love the fact that they're in our area now. A lot of you that are outside of St. Louis are like, oh, I know all about Crunch. I had never heard of them until they come into town, a few months ago. Florissant, Baldwin, St. Peter's, and more to come. So those of you that live in St. Louis City, one's coming your way. Again, I heard, whether it's a rumor or not, that Fenton might be on the list in the very near future too. So super excited about all of this. Jeannie, going on my walk in a few. Way to go. Way to move that body. Walking is great for you. And we literally started the show with water therapy and walking. That's how you do it, folks. That's how you start. Have a fabulous day, Jeannie. Thanks for tuning in from Texas. I love the aspect of live shows because it gives us an opportunity to talk together, interact together. If all of you are just signing on, you missed the show, go back. I showed you a workout that we did with my sister-in-law and my brother, her working through a shoulder injury, me giving you a stepped up version of a giant set. Again, what would you like for me to cover for you in the future? Shoot me an email, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. You can put it in comments on a future show. This is all your show. Just like I told you when I was doing Motivational Moments for 2 years at NBC, this is a segment we want to do for you to motivate you, to keep you in the game so you can keep going. We also put the emotional, spiritual, physical, mental side all together. We end the show when we're on set Mondays and Tuesdays with the 100 Days to Freedom books. Everybody has a tendency to pick 100 Days to Freedom from fear and anxiety. There's a lot of that in the world, isn't it? Right? The fear coming back from a surgery. That's our, connection point today. Then Jesus Calling or Jesus Listens. We do those faith devotionals when I'm at home. We also have a beautiful one that Jennifer Bonacorsi from J. Bloom gave me. This one's called Fashioned by God. Love the design aspect. And I have so many incredible viewers that have said, hey, I've got another devotional for you. Today, I'm going to read from this one, Jesus Listens from Sarah Young. Thank you for the information. Thanks for the motivation. Off to the YMCA pool. Have a good day. Stephanie, have a great one as well. So I've got your devotional coming up in just a second. If you haven't had a chance to see this, I'm super proud of DC Creative Agency, Darian Chris. He is the one that I told you I was hiring to put together a sizzle reel. What is a sizzle reel? It's showcasing your best work. I have been hired to speak at several corporations, small businesses, large corporations, national conferences. I now intend to travel all over the world and speak and motivate and inspire and get you understanding that you have value. You know, I walked away from the news because I know my value. I want to teach that to each and every one of you. So give this a watch, and then we're going to wrap up with our devotional. But by the end of this, I want 100% raising your hands. I'm here to empower you because you all have intrinsic value. I don't care if someone has told you that you don't. Today, we are here to make you believe in yourself.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Bonacorsi, and I'm the president and founder of J Bloom. And I chose Monica Adams to be our keynote speaker because of the positivity that she illuminates whenever she speaks. She's an amazing influence and has so much impact on these women that they are going to leave change.
It's a constant education. Never stop being the leader. If you are given the opportunity to be, and I hate the word boss, by the way, don't we like leader more? Have you all seen that image of a boss shouting behind their team and then the leader out in the trenches? And I know there's a lot of people that are thrown into your paths, and there are people who try to squash your dreams. It could be your partner, it could be your parents, your children, a boss that you've had, but you cannot, from this day forward, I'm going to ask you to not give them power any longer. So we think it, we write it, we hear it. Think right here. Make connections today. Then pave that way. You now have the awareness. So how do you pave that path?
Your message, like at the end, you can be anything, but before that, be kind.
Yep.
My husband's a pastor, and that every one of his sermons, that's always within it. That be kind.
Yep.
You have to be kind.
It is.
Oh, you're fine.
Look at this. So there's an employee out there who still thinks of you because you were kind to them. Never stop being that leader. By the way, I want to be remembered for this phrase when I'm no longer on this earth. The greatest rewards in life come from the most uncomfortable walk. God meant for me to talk to you. Oh, it's okay. You, honey, have a lot of value. And someone's told you that you don't. And I was meant to be in your life today. I've always said, I have chills. Do we all have chills? God, I say, if you can have me change one person's life, then I have done your job. I'm hoping it's all of you. But see, she's not okay for whatever reason. I don't know your story, but I'm going to tell you they're wrong. And all these women believe in you.
To hire Monica Adams for your next event, email info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com.
Wasn't that incredible? I've had so many people that have watched that, whether they watched it online, I posted it yesterday, or they've watched it on our show the last few days because we debuted it on Monday. And everyone has said the same thing, which is exactly what I was hoping, which was, oh my gosh, chills. Oh my gosh, goosebumps. Darian Crisp, I'm so proud of you for the direction that you took from my vision and delivering the vision. DC Creative Agency. So if you need some videography work, you need editing work, you need directing work. He is 21 years old, between St. Louis and Atlanta. He travels all over for so many different clients. He did incredible, didn't he? Congratulate to Darian. Congratulate Darian. Congratulate Zach Kimball, who also came out and shot some footage for me at one of the events I spoke at, Gateway Hemophilia Association. J Bloom National Conference was at St. Charles Convention Center. I've spoken in Chicago. I've spoken in Springfield, Illinois recently, Kansas City, Missouri. Again, we are on a mission to go all over, not just the United States, but to be booked all over the world. So start telling people that you know that are holding conferences, or they want, a small, intimate motivation, 30 people, 20 people, it doesn't matter. Then we go into those big auditoriums. I am on a mission to change the world on a grand scale with your help, to inspire people to understand you can be anything you want to be. We always say before anything, be kind. Julie, you do remember him, right? I had him on the show and I told you that when we were done, I was going to deliver his product, and he did such an incredible job. I'm so proud of him. So Darian, thank you. And thank you to my dear friend, Bo Matthews. That's the voice you hear at the end, in case it sounded familiar to you. We wanted to end the sizzle reel with Bo Matthews' incredible booming voice to hire Monica Adams. Info at TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Bo, thank you. I love you from the bottom of my heart. So let's wrap up the show and tell you what's coming up for the rest of the week. Today's devotional is Jesus Listens on this August 6th. Dearest Jesus, thank you that I'm safe, I'm secure, and I am complete in you. Help me to stop my anxious striving and just come to you with the matters that are on my heart. A lot of it's about trust, right? I need to trust you enough to be open and honest as I tell you about the concerns weighing me down. I can give you all my worries and I can give all my cares to you for you to care about me. You are, in fact, taking care of me. I find rest in the shelter of your presence. And whenever I wander away and leave you out of my life, I no longer feel complete. That restlessness I experience in these times is actually a gift from you. Can you see it as a gift, though? Reminding me to return to my first love. I need to make you central in my thoughts and feelings, my plans and my actions. When you're the center of my life, I'm able to live meaningfully according to your will. Again, I'm reading from Jesus Listens. You've set my feet on a pathway to heaven, and you are my constant companion. When I encounter trouble as I journey with you, I love to hear your words of reassurance. And what are those? Take heart, I have overcome the world. O Lord, in your presence, I am indeed safe, secure, and complete. Jesus Listens, Jesus Calling. Those books are from Sarah Young, 100 Days to Freedom books, Stephen Arterburn. A lot of people always ask, what are those devotionals, Monica? I'd like to give them at my house. All right, I'll see you in a handful of hours. 4 o'clock this afternoon, we are doing Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. And this time, again, it will be with Lynn and Trent from Defiance Ridge Vineyards every other Wednesday. And I'm excited. I've been in some talks with having another sponsor come on with us for the additional Wednesdays when Defiance Ridge isn't on. See, we like to give opportunities on alternate days. In fact, Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue and Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa will be at tomorrow. I know you've probably missed Positive Talk Time. It is back. Tomorrow we'll be with Jessica Cook at 7 o'clock in the morning from the Cottleville Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa location. Can't wait to showcase some more of those beautiful animals that need you or someone that you know that is ready for a dog. Remember Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. And then coming up on Friday, we'll be back with Dot Fleshman. She is with Coldwell Banker Gundaker. We will have Friendship Friday. We'll have some real estate talk, and I'm sure we have a lot to talk about. There's been so much in the news about interest rates, mortgage rates, the median price of homes. Can't wait to see what's on her agenda. And we're going to give you a bonus show right after we wrap up with her. We have our Foodie Friday, Slyman Brothers Appliances in West County. Myself, Gabriel Bell, Hayden Schwab. Those are my interns. And today we're going to be baking with them. We're going to tape that and we're going to air that for you on Friday. Hayden's telling me he makes a mean banana bread. I look forward to tasting that, and I look forward to finding out what they have loved about their internship, which, by the way, reminds me, if you have a student that would like to be a part of all the things that we are doing, have them shoot me an email, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. I've loved all my interns over the last 2.5 years. Some of them I've hired on. Others have gone back into school. Miranda's just leaving to go back to Mizzou. My very first intern, Caroline, was in Syracuse, New York. So yes, teaching and consulting, those are all things that are very near and dear to my heart. So I love to pay it forward for everything that I've learned, to have them learn and then for them to pay it forward. That's the greatest thing we can do, right? That's the kindness in life. Have a beautiful one. I hope to see you at 4 o'clock this afternoon with our Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. If not, tomorrow morning, Positive Talk Time, we will be with the fur babies. Can't wait to see you. Love you all. See you soon.